Okay, we're live.
Okay, hi Laura.
Hi, Lee.
Hi, Sunday, our
Sunday.
day to communicate
Yeah.
with the world.
Yes.
So, I realized that we we announced our service, our first service, but what we didn't do is explain what the Institute of New Work is all about. New work.
Yeah. Which is really the vision and the mission behind this service and any service that we go on to create into the future. So it's really important that we share what the real why, because explaining new work also explains why we're doing this, from our hearts, what is the real purpose.
Right. The word new is being abused in marketing, of course.
Oh.
Everything is new. When you want to sell something, everything is new. But here it is really new work. It goes together.
Yeah.
It's not separate. So it's not new, and we're not flashing new. It's really it's really taking a new take on the way each individual works and has this deep innate inspiration to do something in this world. And we all have that.
Yes, and I think a lot of people don't know that we all have that. So let's state it very clearly. We all have a unique gift.
We all have
to share with the world.
It's all time together.
Yeah.
It's not separate. There is no there's no separation. What you do individually has an effect on the collective. And the best way probably to see is just something simple. There is somebody who is going to grow veggies. And so this is a person who has just the inspiration and love for growing veggies. So what he's going to do with it, it's not only for himself or for the family or for herself. No. It is for everyone.
The collective.
It's for the collective. It is to bring something to the collective. That is the kind of work for a part, the impulse to work, to do work.
And it's not like he was hired to be a farmer and it's like, let's say, or he or she, and they really wake up every day kind of annoyed because it's not what they're really doing. This is someone whose passion is vegetable farm. And actually that is such a passion, that's a passion of mine. That's something that I'm definitely going to be incorporated into some sort of business later on in my life. I think, so you can really understand how it's not the idea. It can be whatever, your gift to truly be even vegetable farming. And actually I follow a bunch of Instagrammers who have started biodynamic vegetable farms, permaculture in the United States, and have started a business around it online, and are doing it's so needed right now. So what a great example of new work, doing what you love, doing your passion, bringing it to the market.
Right. So it is not new, right? Which is really interesting, but it is this different take on work.
Yeah. It's a new way of work.
Yeah, or maybe it is even an old way, because this is what happened before we had schools and universities.
Good point. Think about the hat makers, the dress makers, all the creative people out there who are doing a craft or a trade.
Right. And yes, of course, there was some pushing from the parents that the kids would go into a direction, but that is the last 1,000 years. In a way, right? That it is really that we have little towns and in Amsterdam, and I think in Bern as well, in Switzerland. It's the 13th century, the 12th, 13th century, where this feeling of creating a collective, a society has come. Before that, we were more like nomads, but there was always this thing when, okay, we have to group. We have to group together, stand together, because together we are stronger. So
And
yes, some people might feel that they have been pushed
mm,
at that time in a certain direction. But what we're seeing now, and I see that also in the human design, and when we use our intuition, when we look at people from what is there, we can clearly see that the diversity of the expression of work, which is not work anymore, but which is your contribution to the collective
mm.
from an individual drive.
Individual drive, what a great term. Instead of saying gift, we can actually use individual drive as a synonym, and I think that's even a little bit more accurate. Like when I wake up in the morning, it's a drive that I have to do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And also, I think that what you describe of these societies in community, basically a community where everyone has their individual drive and everybody's contributing their own piece of the community, and together they form a puzzle that's a full image. And this is kind of a description of another term we've been using, which is the new economy.
Mm.
Did you want to go into that a little bit?
Yeah, I think the new economy, I already have this feeling I need to I need to find a new word for it,
Mm,
because it's in all mouths, and what and and what I feel is everybody is already thinking again in the same direction. So in Dutch we say, your nose is all the noses are in one direction.
mm,
And so it is, because I think economy in the old sense, yes, economy in the more modern sense, I think it's over. I think we are reverting again to something where there is more equal share,
mm,
and where the contributions of each individual are not valued based on what you studied, but
mm.
based on an equal contribution. So there's no judgment anymore. You are doing more. How? Who's saying that? If I'm just,
Mm.
if I'm saying, I'm already saying the word just. If I'm just planting seeds and have them grow, so that the next spring we can put them in the soil, and they get a kickstart. They already have a kickstart to become a veggie. Is my work that is a little bit more invisible less valuable? No, it is actually basically more essential.
Yeah,
So
it's even, yeah, exactly.
but it is in the whole chain, everything is as essential.
Mm.
The person watering the plants is as essential. The person who helps bring the water so that it can be watered is essential.
And maybe they're really passionate about what they do so much because they've studied a certain way of doing it, or looking into a new technology, and people can really immerse themselves into what they want to be doing, even more than what they're meant to be doing. It's really just what they want to be doing and what drives them. And
Right.
this doesn't mean that it's not going to change 2 years from now. Maybe they want to be planting the vegetables this year, and 2 years from now
Yes.
they get a new drive
We
towards
always
something
get
new.
drives.
Yeah.
We always get drives.
And then you move on to the next mission when you
Exactly.
get that. Yeah.
Yeah. But it is, I want to go back to the economy. So just staying in this economy that we are having, this growth economy, where everything has to be more and more and more and more, and then doing these things different with the expectation that it grows more and more and more and more. That is not the economy that I mean. That is what I mean. Maybe we should have a new word for the economy, because everybody now thinks about economy the way we are doing it now. We're just doing it differently. So we are not coal mining anymore, but we have solar panels. That is a really great start, but it is still it's still meant for a growth economy.
Yeah.
And yes, yes, of course. What do I mean with growth? Is that we have to consume more. But I think we have reached the limit of consumption. If you
So
ask people now,
mm,
what do you need? Basically, people cannot really say it, aside maybe from money.
yeah, I think we've lost touch with what we need, because actually we're being given a bunch of things that we don't need.
Yeah.
And sold them as well through
Yes.
very, very interesting marketing techniques that really create desire where there was no desire before. Sometimes a lot of things that we just really don't need.
Yes.
But so it sounds like what you're saying is like there's a growth economy that's going on right now that's kind of over, because like keeping growing, actually it's not going to do any good for the planet or for the people. But it sounds like then the alternative is some sort of circle motion.
It's a it's a sort of circularity,
Hmm.
but it is also a new way of thinking.
Hmm.
It's also really, and this is where it is so difficult, because if you keep using the word economy, the association is different. So you keep also thinking in circles. Nah? How can I create something more sustainable? But why do you create it? You still create it to produce something, right? Why do you think like that? To produce something. And I think what is needed at this moment is really this smaller scale. And so somebody who's making salves, or who's potions, somebody who is making hand ointments, somebody who is teaching or sharing their knowledge with other people about things, like about permaculture, right? About how to live more sustainable, and then you slowly step out of this vicious circle. Because when you start growing your own veggies, if that is possible, or it is possible in a neighborhood, then you go away from this really weird distribution of food, like tomatoes have to come from the Netherlands, right, to Italy. I mean, who was thinking of that?
I know, when we can eat local food and seasonal food as well, because our bodies have adapted to seasonal foods, and we're eating summer foods in the winter. Okay, we can go on about nutrition.
We can. That's
because this is both of our backgrounds is nutrition.
Another topic, but it is. We have been living out of rhythm. Our economy has taken us out of the natural rhythm of the planet, the natural rhythm of planet Earth.
Nature and our role in nature. This is real sustainable development, to be quite honest. Like the SDGs that the UN has brought out, there's a certain energy behind them, but if you want to really have sustainable development, then you're going to get into this like local, smaller scale contribution to your own community. And when you were talking, I thought it was so funny, because I've been thinking the last few days to put up a little shop online selling cat accessories that I make. And who's selling cat accessories right now? Big companies in the pet stores. And so even for things like cat accessories, you can put your little contribution into the community, because I'm making a leash and a bed and some toys and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
No, exactly. And that's that's what we're talking about, because that is the small scale individual contribution that comes from this impulse.
And then eventually there'll be one person in the community making the cat food, one person making the cat accessories, the other person making the people food, this person making the clothes, this person being the tailor, like everyone, right?
Right. And then is the question, are they producing something based on a need, or are they producing based on I'm going to create a need? That is the slight difference with the modern economy and what we're talking about with new work. When we have this impulse, it is not necessary to create a need, but to share.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to share that your cat leashes.
I mean, there is a need, because there's just a natural need for it, because the only options that I saw were, mass produced or whatever. And if we want to get away from that, then there's a little, with some organic materials and stuff, then there's a need, a true need though.
There is a true need. And I think this is where we want to return, and then see how we can readjust within us to think that way.
I find it's like there's going to be a transition period to that, because of the cheap and fast consumerism out there right now, and how easy it is to get the cheap and fast.
Yeah. There is this thing, because in a way they always say when we have something produced, say in Asia, we are really helping. We are helping them to live a quality of life. But it is the new way of it's the accepted way at this moment in time to think. Because are we really helping them to live better, or are we creating more slaves?
Yeah.
And I think
and what were they doing, and how were they living before we came in and got them through the work? I think a lot like more pure in terms of the environment, because the environmental impact where they're living is just insane. There's documentaries about it that I can't even get through.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the new work is based on really to find your drive, your impulse. And that is more pure than when you're just going to think again, what work can I do to get money? And of course we still live in a world where you need to have a good income in order to live, in order to be able to feed your family and to pay the bills, the rest of the bills. So this is, and so it's a fine line. We are in between two things. And what we have been saying, the old economy is basically gone. The new economy is coming. So we are in this twilight zone, and so we are here to bridge it. And how can we bridge it? By finding our individual passion, our individual drive.
Yes, and that's where both of our missions have been for a long time, is helping people with you help them discover it, and with me I help them actually make it tangible and put it online and into a business, through a website. But we've been doing this for so long. So with the human design, you can really find the specific where you can kind of channel that drive that's going to be the most fulfilling for you, where you are waking up every single day and thinking like, wow, this is perfect for me. This is exactly who I am. I'm so grateful that I've found this vocation. Even if it doesn't last forever, this is what I'm meant to be doing right now.
Right. This is what I'm meant to be doing for now. And that's really, there is this momentum. This is the beauty. This is really the beauty of a twilight zone. Because everything is possible. Because there's no definition yet. We are creating a sort of new definition. But the power now is within you. You can create a new definition of how you want to work and how you want to contribute to society, versus following a rule that has been there for ages. Right? Well, not in terms of our genetics.
Right.
1,000 years is nothing in our genetics. No. So our genetics still know the purity of living on this planet.
Okay, so shall we deliver any final thoughts or words about new work?
Yes. Well, go ahead.
My final thoughts about new work are that, like, the most simply put, it's what we've been talking about in our other, like in our webinars and stuff. It's doing what you love. And like, it's the simple way to say it. And we explained how that has such a ripple effect on the community, on the collective. So it's doing what you love in order to have a far-reaching ripple effect, creating a new economy eventually, just something sustainable. And this is the future. And right now we get to create the future because of what Lee's calling this twilight zone we're in right now. So we have an opportunity, and we are urging people. I think that's such a great word, to urging people to hop on this new opportunity right now and really let's create the future.
Yes. Yes. Let create it from the inside out.
Yeah.
Not from the outside in, which we have been doing for the last 200 years, 300 years.
Yeah.
And this is really the beauty. I want to say that it's so hard to define what you love. So I think maybe also the word, what is driving you this morning? What do you feel you want to do? Right? So it will change every day. And we have to find a common denominator.
Yeah.
To say, okay, no, I'm passionate about human design and helping people discover their passion, their drive to get up every day. So I think this is what it is, and it can change every day, but has a commonality.
Yeah. Like a golden thread going through everything.
Like a golden thread. And
yeah.
Like, okay, when you're a massage therapist,
yeah,
you know it is the massage. But it
yeah.
will be this morning it can be this drive, the next morning it can be a slightly other drive, because it's this morning,
yeah.
wake up this morning and
yeah.
this is what, and then you know what the energy of today is.
Yeah. And in terms of like the massage, for example, the massage is one specific thing, but the drive and the passion and the purpose is so much deeper that we are really big fans of diversification. So diversification of income. So for example, right here on this talk, I'm talking about cat toys, but I also do the web design. We also have our own energy healing businesses. I have the nutrition, and there is a golden thread going through all of those things. And you start with one, and you build and you build and you build and you build and you diversify. And that's what really allows you to be flexible no matter what's going on in the world. So even though massage might be the thing today, if you find that deeper purpose, then you'll see other things that are going to be related to incorporate and actually turn into something. Yeah.
Yes. Beautiful.
Okay. So thank you for this talk.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a great Sunday.
You too. Everyone as well.
Everyone.
Ciao.